Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Soulful Abby, and if you saw by the intro song, today is another soul session where we talk about all things down in our soul and down on our feet. If you feel me, if you got the pun, you got the pun. If you didn't get it, catch up. So let's start off with the shoes. So I have these boots right here. I haven't worn them yet. And they're basically over-the-knee boots, and they kind of graze my knee. I'm 5'9", so a lot of over-the-knee boots aren't over-the-knee. They have like a gold, it's more of a brassy gold hardware zipper on the back that zips up. They are faux suede with a faux leather lining, and these are from Shoe Dazzle. And I'll give you a quick story about how I got these. So I saw a picture on Instagram of a celebrity in a pair of Shoe Dazzle shoes. I didn't know they were Shoe Dazzle before I purchased them. I was looking at it, I was like, oh, those are so cute. I want them. And then I finally found what they were, and they were Shoe Dazzle, and they were like, oh, the first pair is $10. So I got the shoes for $10. I was like, ooh, 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 ooh. And then they had the automatic renewal, and I forgot to cancel it. So I eventually canceled it, but I had like one more credit, which was like $39.95 a month for the VIP that I had to use. And so it took me like 6 months to use it because I kept like skipping the months, and I didn't see anything I liked on the site because just to be completely honest, the quality isn't great. You get the trend, but I don't think you get like the longevity in the pair of shoes. And I'm trying to like decrease my consumption of fast fashion. But some of the pieces are cute. No shade to anyone who loves Shoe Dazzle, but yeah. So I have these boots. I hope to wear them soon. That's like my third pair of over-the-knee boots. I have a lot of over-the-knee boots, and all of them are suede. I really need like a leather pair of over-the-knee boots, but like we're kind of moving away from over-the-knee in terms of trends. So yes. That was that on that. So let's get into today's soul session. Today's soul session is all about self-doubt and self-trust. So recognizing self-doubt and establishing self-trust. Self-doubt, I would describe as a lack of confidence in your ability to accomplish your goals and to do what you say you want to do. And self-trust is similar to self-confidence, but with our society, we usually attribute confidence to physical aesthetics and appeal. Like self-confidence tends to be like the outward appearance, like making sure that is up to par, whereas self-doubt, it is the opposite, and it's internal. So self-trust is similar to self-confidence, but it tends to be a little bit more introspective. Self-confidence, self-trust, similar, they're cousins. They look similar, but they're not siblings, you know? So self-trust is knowing yourself and loving yourself, and which leads you to trusting yourself. And on this journey of self-growth, trust is like one of the key foundations to the pathway of like developing yourself, and having compassion for yourself is also on the journey of establishing self-trust. Self-trust is not arrogance, and it's not about perfection. It's like, yes, I maybe made this mistake, but I can pick myself up, I can dust myself off, and I can move on and continue on this journey. And it's like, it's recognizing that even with your shortcomings, that you are able to make the decisions that you need to make and overcome any slip up or failure that comes across your path. And it's having like a good self-regard and self-awareness of yourself. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say self in this video. We could make it a little bit of a turn-up game. and every time I say self, but don't do that. Don't do that. And I have this quote about vulnerability and self-trust, and it's from Brene Brown. I think she's had a couple famous TED Talks, and the quote is, "Vulnerability sounds like truth and feels like courage. Truth and courage aren't always comfortable, but they're never weaknesses." So it's allowing ourselves to be comfortable, peeling back some of the layers, and revealing our true emotions, and kind of recognizing our emotions, and that we should honor them. We should honor the way we feel. These feelings are valid. Recognizing them and not trying to convert them into something else, like, oh my goodness, I'm scared. Don't feel scared, you're fine. Just recognizing, I feel scared, but what? And then, like, not, really rushing those emotions. Then I have another quote by Golda. "Trust yourself. Create the kind of self that you'll be happy to live with all your life. Make the most of yourself by fanning that tiny flame of inner sparks of possibility into flames of achievement." So when you have that little flame, you got to protect it. You just got to keep building, keep putting wood in it, keep protecting it, and then eventually that flame blossoms into something else. I'm currently, like, last week I made a video about, like, my ode to girl bosses and, like, a shout out and tribute to us, and I think something about the journey of entrepreneurship has really revealed a lot of self-doubt within myself. I'm just like, am I smart enough to make, money and turn $1 into $2 and, make $1 out of 15 cents? Or, like, am I organized enough to keep things in line? Am I detail oriented, or am I more big picture? And just all these things running through my mind in regards to, like, beginning a business that have really revealed some of the limiting thoughts I have of myself and my capabilities. And so this is kind of like why I'm making this video. And, like, it relates to the shoes a little bit, because over the knee boots are a statement piece. Regardless of, like, the color, the cut, it's like, it is like a boom boom ba ba boom piece. So that's what I like about them, and I wanted to do a bold shoe for a video like this. I have bolder shoes, but, like, y'all, my toes were not doing. Okay, it is still cold out here. I am in a full-blown turtleneck, so yes. So something about self-doubt that's hard is self-doubt diminishes our self-confidence and disengages our sense of autonomy. In my life, I've worked a lot of retail jobs, and sometimes I find that women will come in, and sometimes they'll come in with their husbands, and they'll try to get feedback from their husbands on, like, oh, does this look good? Does this not look good? Fine, all good and fine. Then I'll have women that will come in and they will be so indecisive, and they will present you with options, and you'll present them with, like, the pros and cons. Like, just let's keep it on the same lines of what I'm doing. A pair of shoes, they'll have, like, a classic black pump. One will be suede, one will be leather. I will give them the pros and cons of each. The leather pair can be dressed up, can be dressed down. The suede pair tends to be more casual. The leather is going to expand over time, whereas the suede will expand but not as much. The leather you can wear in rain or shine, the suede not so much. And I give her the pros and cons, and still she'll sit there and she'll be so indecisive and be unable to engage with the autonomy she has on making a decision. And I know there's a lot more factors that go into making decisions and decision making, but I feel like self-doubt and self-trust are a factor in your ability to make decisions when they present themselves to you. And sometimes when we have no self-trust, we begin, and we have a lot of self-doubt, we begin on this journey of negative momentum. And negative momentum involves a lot of, like, negative habits and a lot of escapism. Watching shows, binge watching shows and being unproductive, sleeping a lot, eating a lot of bad food, being lazy. And like Newton's law of motion, I think, An object in motion will stay in motion until it's interfered with another object. It's like inertia, y'all. That's what I'm basically trying to say. So with negative momentum, you have to counteract that and address it. And something has to stop it, or you just continue within the downward spiral. For example, there's a study that shows that from Thanksgiving to like Christmas, people gain anywhere from 10 to 15 pounds during the holiday season. So for Thanksgiving is one day. You eat a lot in the last week of November and like a couple leftovers you have for maybe 3-4 days afterwards. Then you could easily pick up and go back to working out. But people believe in diminishing returns, so they're like, oh, I'm just gonna keep eating bad. So keep eating bad. December, the first week of December, the second week, the third week, the fourth week, Christmas week, they start keep eating bad. And then they're like, oh, I'll just start again right after New Year's. But that whole period of eating bad is negative momentum. Instead of just this week or these 3 days of eating poorly, and then just a few days for Christmas, and then maybe just a few days for New Year's, then, the effects, when it compounds. My camera cut off, so hopefully we are at like the Thanksgiving example. So self-trust is the foundation of building personal success. All you need to do, well, some of the tips that I have are developing high quality habits and limiting the cycle of distrust. Imposter syndrome is real. It's okay to feel like you're not qualified or you're underqualified. That's really the self-doubt talking. I think that to a certain extent keeps us humble, but recognizing that doubt, stopping those limiting thoughts and those limiting beliefs, and just doing it, just believing in yourself. It's so much harder said than done. But back when I was like in high school and middle school, or high school and kind of like early college, high school, there we go. I used to do this thing with my sister when we were shopping online. We would send each other like, hey, what do you think of this? Hey, what do you think of that? So keeping the number of voices you have in your head to a minimum. So I only would check in with her on the fashions I wanted to purchase. I checked in with one other person. I didn't check in with 12, I didn't check in with 100, I didn't check in with 10, just one. Just as a sounding board. I know some items and some decisions may be more complex, and you might need a survey of a lot of people, but sometimes you don't. And one of my pastors in my church, he had this example of taking a note card. This is a card. It's a 1x1 inch square. So what you're going to take on it is you're going to write the names of the people whose opinion matter to you and who you value. And then always keep these people in mind when making decisions. It's not you. So limiting the amount of validation you need from external sources and trusting yourself. That was kind of a meaty little video, but I hope all of that made sense, y'all. What are some tips you have for overcoming self-doubt and establishing self-trust? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Y'all have a good day. Be real, be you, be true to yourself, be kind to someone. And yeah, that's it. And stay warm. Goodness. Global warming ain't no joke. Take care, y'all. Bye.